6 steps to resolving mold toxicity. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner and functional blood chemistry specialist. And if you've got mold toxicity or think you do, check out some of my other videos for testing options and signs and symptoms. Then we have to get rid of this, and this is a huge contributor to chronic health issues and all kinds of chronic illnesses. So here are my 6 steps to resolving this. Now, I will say up front, this is an overview because there are no 2 people that I've ever seen where we need the exact same protocol, but this is the overall process. So I'm warning you up front, I'm not giving you all the specifics because I literally can't, because every person is a little bit different. But these are the 6 basic overview and steps that you need to follow in order to make sure this is fully out of your body and your body goes back into a really good spot. So number 1, you have to get out of the mold. You can't heal from mold illness if you're constantly being exposed. And so sometimes this involves moving, sometimes this involves testing. For testing, there's a couple different options here. You can hire a qualified mold inspector. You can do an ERMI test. Okay, not the best. There's something called a dust test, which is a little bit better. It's a little bit more of an advanced version than the ERMI. So that's a really good option, although certainly a qualified mold inspector is a great option as well. So 1, we have to make sure you're not currently living in a mold environment. 2, now we need to support liver detox pathways. And this means making sure we're supporting our liver and our kidneys and our gallbladder, and we're having daily and good bowel movements every single day. And this is a pre-qualification to be able to even use a mold binder, because mold binders are really strong and you can get really sick if you don't do this part. Next, we can get into the mold and start detoxing the actual mold. Once again, this varies really quite a bit person to person. The binders that we're using, the additional support, mast cell stabilizers that we're using, if we're using like biothickening support, like additional nutrients, this is really dependent on the person, but this is usually where we can start detoxing the mold. Then number 4, we can also sometimes at the same stage, sometimes not, address overgrowth issues. If we've got mold issues, there's a really, really good chance we've got parasites, yeast, fungus, and or bacterial issues going on outside of that as well, because mold really feeds on this, especially the yeast and especially parasites. Those are the 2 most common ones, although I certainly do see fungus and bacterial issues as well. Then once we've cleared all of that out, and we've really cleared, and that's a really big process. I mean, that process can last 2 to 8 months. It really depends on the person and what we're dealing with. Then we can go in and start rebuilding the gut. Probiotics, prebiotics, using some sort of digestive enzyme, HCl support, something like that. And then we need to make sure that we've rebalanced the body, making sure nutrients are really in a good place, especially your B vitamins, especially like zinc and copper. We need to make sure that stomach acid is left in a really, really good spot. Nervous system is very regulated at this point. And making sure that the body is going to stay in this really good spot and make sure it's very well balanced and supported at this point. We can also do some gut lining healing support. If we've got gut inflammation still, address the gut inflammation, anything lingering, all that kind of stuff. So if you think you've got mold issues, I literally can't recommend working with a practitioner enough, whether that's me or someone else qualified to do this, because it is such a big task. It is very, very complicated to do on your own. And there's a lot of ways that this can go wrong, and you can get sick, you can feel worse than you already do, which I know can be hard to imagine. So if you need help and support in some of the first steps in customizing your specific protocol, be sure to book a free call with me. There's a link in my bio here.